So in public, we have to respect our partners, even when things are kind of nasty behind closed doors or we're unhappy in the relationship. Embarrassing or humiliating our partner in public is just next level cringe. And I have a couple thoughts on that. One is that there are certain people that don't care if they humiliate their partner in public, okay, because they get off on it. I'm thinking a lot about Jada Pinkett Smith, how she treats Will Smith, and I'm thinking about Meghan Markle and how she treats Harry. And a lot of people say that these women are narcissists. And I will also say, I think so. I mean, we're just analyzing, like, we're not like their therapists or whatever. But also, these men are wimpy people pleasers. And what goes along with that, and my second point is there's nothing more repulsive to a woman than a man who's a people pleaser. I was in a situation a while back with someone who was a people pleaser, and we were together for several days. And I, as a person, he was like a friend of mine, we were like on a business trip together, and he was a friend of mine, and we had always gotten along. But on this trip, he started being like extremely needy and following me around, where at one point when he followed me, he stepped on the back of my shoes because he was always behind me. And I started getting really, really annoyed with this guy. And I was trying to figure out how to handle it. And at one point I finally told him, I'm like, you cannot follow me around. Like, this is bad. This is no good. I mean, I had to tell him. But at the same time, because we were both, our company had sent us on this trip together, so we were together for a whole week, and I had some work I had to do with him, so we were kind of like put together. And at one point, there was a photo that they were taking of the group, and I had to stand next to him, and I just remember feeling so physically repulsed, like so angry with him, and so turned off by him that I didn't want to stand next to him. And I am like, what is wrong with me? I didn't want to be that person who was that way. And I know that some of the people in the group looked at me with such disdain because he's such like a nice guy and he is so polite. And they probably thought I was a bitch, you know? And I was cold to him. I wasn't rude to him in public, but I didn't want to be around him. I kept trying to separate from him. But I didn't tell you this, that, I kind of worked for him, and he had like been responsible for taking me on this trip and saying that he wanted me to work with him on this trip. So it was kind of awkward that I'd separated myself from him. But what I wanted to get to was the point. I will always remember this. This was my only experience with a people pleaser. And I was so repulsed, and I wanted to respect him. I wanted to honor him for his work, and I wanted to respect him in public. But I was so physically repulsed by him that I just wanted to get away. And even after we had that little talk, it didn't really help that much. So my point being, I think that someone like Meghan Markle or Jada Pinkett Smith could feel repulsed. But the thing to do, if you're that repulsed, you got to get away from that person. And in my case, I did have a talk with this person, and we straightened things out. And he told me, oh my God, thank you for telling me. And he had readjusted his behavior. So then that, for the last year I worked at that company, he was much better. But for some people, the people pleasing is so deeply entrenched, and it's like so disgusting. So Will Smith and Harry, they need to grow a backbone. They need to adult, because with that kind of people pleasing that they are, the only women that will want to be around them are controlling women. And when I run across men who are people pleasers, even including that friend I'm talking about, his ex-wife was controlling. Every man who is a people pleaser is controlling, because a regular woman like me is not going to put up with that or be attracted to that. But the women who are very evil, who want to control you, or they're maybe narcissistic, maybe they want to hurt you, maybe they don't, but they're drawn to that. So if you as a man want to be respected, you have to respect yourself and have some boundaries. If you don't know what that is, there's a really good book called No More Mr. Nice Guy. Dr. Robert Glover also has some videos on YouTube. But I always say that we get the relationship we deserve. And these people pleaser guys don't speak up. They don't want to rock the boat. They think happy wife, happy life. If I just give the woman whatever she wants, then I will feel loved. No, because now we're responsible for you. I want to lean on you, like the guy who almost tripped on my shoes. I was wearing flip-flops and he was walking so close behind me that the front of his foot caught on the back of my flip-flop. That was really a turnoff. I want a guy that's like, walking in front of me and showing me where to go and saying, hey, you go read your book. I'm going to go take a walk. Like, have a sense of independence, have a boundary, be able to say no to a woman. You can't be afraid of a woman. You cannot be afraid of stating a boundary. You cannot be afraid of challenging something that needs to be challenged. You cannot be afraid of her being mad at you for you having a boundary or you needing some space. I think it's just a lot of fear. I don't get it. Like, I find it a turnoff. Likewise, a turnoff is also the guy who's super avoidant, who cannot handle a conversation because he's afraid. He's got to run off. He can't deal with it. And I mean, some of those people need space, but there's got to be kind of this healthy balance. So this video was just kind of me thinking about Jada Pinkett Smith and Meghan Markle because they're always popping up on my YouTube channel. But I'm like, Harry, Will, get a backbone. These women are annoyed as fuck with you because you're weak. You have no boundaries. And when a man has no boundaries, a woman's going to get really angry. Even a woman like me, I cannot be around people pleaser guys because they annoy me so much that it's hard for me to, be civil. I can't be around them. I cannot. And, but some women enjoy, taunting these guys and humiliating them. They get a pleasure out of it. See, to me, they're repulsive, but I think these women get a pleasure out of it because if they found it repulsive, they wouldn't be with them. They would go elsewhere, like I did with this guy. I can't be around this. Like, it's just too much bowing at my feet. And don't call me goddess. I don't want to be your goddess, okay? Don't put me on a fucking pedestal. I'm not your goddess. I'm just a regular woman, I want to be treated like a human. Okay, that's it. All this goddess worship stuff is not my thing. But that wraps up my video. Please leave your comments and thank you for watching.